And welcome. It's pretty exciting. I'm thrilled to get the chance to meet with all of you and get a chance to talk with you. And Linaro is growing like crazy, so it's real exciting. It's real exciting. We have a little bit of technical difficulties, which is perfect because I'm actually the most technical person in the whole company. I don't know if everybody knows that, but so it works out really well. But actually, my role is responsible for looking at our people and dealing with the people side of Linaro. We listened to George Gray talk, and he's amazing when he talks about the company and the future and the vision of Linaro. What I'm involved with and reporting to Rob Booth, my manager is right back there, our COO, what we're involved with is thinking about some of the other parts of the company. All right? It just doesn't all just happen. It just doesn't all just, all of a sudden, all this amazing growth because what is Linaro? Linaro's what? It's a pretty technical company, right? Right? You look at it and you see it's a real engineering-driven company. Bunch of engineers. Well, you know what? All of those engineers, all you guys that are part of the team are people, right? That's the important part. And everybody has feelings. Everybody has their work habits that they need to do. Everybody has an environment that they like to set up in. You got to be comfortable if you're working from home for Linaro. You got to know the people around you. It doesn't just all magically happen, right? So Linaro has gone through some pretty awesome growth, which I'm going to show you as long as they get these slides going, all right? Otherwise, we're just going to wing it, all right? And I'm going to tell you the numbers because I've looked at them enough times. But we've got some slides that talk about Linaro, talk about all the things that are happening, the growth of the company, the people side of things, where we've got the people spread apart. Actually, Christine, who works with me, she did a great job helping me with the actual presentation. And hopefully you'll be seeing it soon, all right? But let's talk. All right, okay, good. We're getting there. All right. Whew. All right. So let's just talk about a couple different things before we get into the presentation. All right? I got to tell you something that's a little bit personal, but I got a few gray hairs on my head. I've been doing recruiting, dealing with people, going into software companies for over 20 years. I have never in my life seen a company like Linaro. Okay? When I started recruiting, you know, you basically was a long time ago, and you don't even can't even put the two and two together. When you're recruiting for a software company 10, 15 years ago, or even other companies right now, you sit there and look for just a geographic area. Okay, so we're going to hire somebody in our Cambridge office, and we only want the 20-mile radius of that Cambridge office. Now that means that we can only look at the engineers that are living in that radius. And if we can't do that, then we got to fly people in, or we got to ask them to relocate. The people that Linaro hires are pretty much all senior developers, senior to principal developers. So it doesn't really work that often that we can relocate someone. No, someone's not going to want to relocate. You know, when you and I were dealing, you know, I asked, it'd be great if you came over to England, but, you know, it's different. You've got your family there. You have your community that you live in, so it's difficult for us to do those types of things. So Linaro is just incredible because, think about it this way, you got to think about the appreciation right now of where you are. You're in Hong Kong, all right? You know, some of you live thousands and thousands of miles away. And this company or our member companies or on your own, you took the commitment to fly to here, to learn stuff, to hear about Linaro, to watch the company grow and be part of it, be part of that. And it's pretty significant because I don't know too many companies. I've never worked for a company, and I worked in the similar capacity in other jobs, but I also worked like the agency side. You know, those dreaded headhunters that you hate to when they call upon you, right? But those people in the headhunting field, if you will, they deal with multiple different companies. In my 23 years of experience, I have never seen a company that flies the entire company to Hong Kong. I have never seen a company that allows people to work from home as smoothly as we've figured it out with some systems. So I want to talk about those systems. I want to talk about the growth of the company, but I also want to recognize that we've got people from all over the world in this room right now. So it's a little difficult, but I would imagine there's some people with computers right now in front of them. And normally it's annoying to the speaker when you're sitting there typing away on your computers. That's something that I've noticed in the past. All right? However, what I'd like you to do, if you have a computer in front of you, think of the country that you live in, and do me a favor. Type in the country that you live. You're going to do one word. Go to Google, go to Bing, go to YouTube, go anywhere you want to go that you can do like a search engine. Type the country that you live in and type the word Linaro. Find some really cool things as you're going through. Just casually looking as you're going through. And I'd like you to email them to Christine if you can. So Christine's email is Christine with a K, K-R-I-S-T-I-N-E .dill, D-I-L-L, @linaro.org. So if you're going through and you can type in, find some unique articles and see how Linaro is impacting the whole world right now. I guarantee you, if you type your country and you type Linaro, you're going to get some pretty awesome bullets about Linaro, some pretty awesome things that sell this company. It could point to someone's LinkedIn profile who works at Linaro right now. It could point to anything, and you're going to find some great results. And then you got to think about the effect that we have. I'm sure people have heard Linaro is a not-for-profit, right? Kind of weird, right? Kind of odd, right? It's kind of strange. Why did they set up that way? Why originally did the company set up that way? Okay? I don't really know the exact answer, but my guess is that there was some thought to be thinking about the community, to think about what we can do together to better Linux on ARM. There was some thought to be the future of Linux on ARM and affecting all of the embedded devices that we do, affecting all of the mobile phones that we do. Right? There was some thought to that. And then you think about if we speed up power management, right? If we lengthen the time, how you're affecting people. You're affecting, maybe some young person is in danger and needs her cell phone at night. And if her battery dies, that's not too good, right? So we're doing a lot of things, and you got to have a deep appreciation about this company. Besides just being an engineering tech company, think about where you live, how Linaro can be philanthropic, if you will, about the fact that we're a not-for-profit, and be proud of it. Be proud of it. And I know that there's people here, by the way, that are not new assignees, that are not new engineers to Linaro. There's some people that are just here to attend this, and I appreciate it, and you're more than welcome. But a little bit of this is going to show you just a little bit of the history of some of the things that we've done. What's that? The other laptop. I'm on the wrong laptop because they moved it on me, okay? Now, do I right-click here? If this is a PC, I'm used to something else. Okay. So let's talk about the company. June, Computex, Taiwan. A press release goes out about Linaro. Amazing. Okay? Started off with, they were calling it 25 people. At the time, it was really about 20 canonical consultants, a couple of employees, and engineering, and maybe some other consultants or assignees. Okay? Press release goes out about the new founding members of Linaro in June of 2010. It's only 32 months ago. Okay? Really not very long. Now that press release goes out, it talks about the 25 people. It talks about the fact that all the things that Linaro's doing. I'm not going to get very technical here, so you read the slides if you want. I'm just going to tell you that it's pretty amazing looking at where we were. And what I don't think anyone really pulled out, and George might be mad at me because I'm going to mention this because he said 2.5 years of Linaro. Tomorrow, coincidentally, is the 3-year to the day.
Two.
What?
2 years.
No.
Linaro as a name was announced at Computex.
It was announced at Computex, okay. And the name before that was registered with the government of the UK, however the right wording is there, on March 5th, 2010. Okay? And then at Computex, June of 2010, it was announced formally to the whole people. Okay?
Do we have a partner for it?
I think we should. I think we should. Let's look at this slide here. The left slide was 17 months ago. Okay, we were at 28 people who were consultants to Linaro, counting the canonical consultants. We had 23 direct hires, okay, and 68 assignees. Now, Linaro hires people. Part of the membership, if you will, is to hire or to work and bring assignees on board. So the commitment is to not only they give us money, our members, if you will, but they also have assignees. And we look at it all as one family. That's just dividing the circle up there a little bit. Just about a year ago, the actual date was 3/8 from the chart that's on the right. We grew a little bit. We had a few more direct hires. We had more consultants, actually the same consultants, and more assignees. So really, really cool, some growth we saw right there. The next thing to me is really the really cool thing. 1 year later, where is Linaro? So remember the figure of 27 direct hires. We're now at 66. That represents 144% growth in the company in 1 year. Okay, so 66 full-time, permanent direct hires for Linaro. And we look at the rest of it, we had a few less consultants. Some of those consultants decided to join Linaro, which was amazing to us. We stayed about the same in assignees. That number is going to go way up, obviously with LEG and with LNG. That's going to go way up. The cool thing is 5 people right now have job offers that I know of from Linaro that haven't started yet. 4 of them have accepted. So that actually puts us right at 70. If that 5th person, if we could influence that 5th person, then that would put us at 71. And so that would put us at about 158 total people involved in Linaro. So it's a moving target. Christina and I were going absolutely crazy trying to figure out where the numbers were changing. We have systems in place. People hate those systems, but it was the HR connection for people that use that, how we had to figure out the numbers basically on this. So then we can go and think about the fact that these people are spread out all over the world. And Linaro is somehow working, communicating. We have people who are doing Google Hangouts every single day using Google Hangout meetings. I'm on Skype talking to people all over the world all day long, or dealing with them via email or something like that. And it's amazing. I can wake up in the morning and I can find people who are in Asia that I can talk to. I can and my time zone is the East Coast of the US. Then I can talk to the people in the UK, and then it just rotates. So it's like Linaro 24/7. So we work pretty hard. But we also have some policies where people rest, and we really want them to not burn out, in a sense. So we attempted to do this. This shows you a little bit of a breakdown of just some of the areas that we've got people. You might notice there could be an area that we're wrong. I'm telling you, it was really hard to do this, to try to figure it all out with the tools that we have. But obviously, we've got a big cluster of people in France, in the UK, and we're scattered out. It's not really necessarily Europe. It's just a picture of the chart that we have here. Okay, and these will be made available after, and you can take a look at them. And Christine was having a lot of fun putting these little dots in there, trying to figure out where everybody was. But it's as specific as we pretty much can get at this point, based on we don't necessarily have everybody's street address, but it's coming pretty close. You know, we pretty much did it by the city that's there. So then we can go on, and again, I can show you just a few more things here. We've got people now in Australia and New Zealand. pretty exciting. I mean, you got people working with you, either the assignees or or the employees or the consultants. When I think about it, it's kind of embarrassing in a way, and it's really embarrassing with Rob in the room. But I kind of question, how do I have the role that I have? Because I love my job. I really do. I love Linaro. I love every aspect of it. I love the people that I'm meeting, right? But when I really think about it, before Linaro, my recruitment internationally was bringing people from Canada to work in the US. That was my international experience. My travel to Europe was zero. My travel to Asia was zero. Now this is my second time to Hong Kong, and I've been to Europe 3 times. And obviously different places in the States, but I was there at least before then. Okay? I visited Massachusetts once in a while. Okay? So now, if you look at, this is really hard to view, and it was very hard because we have so many people that are clustered in Bangalore and in Shanghai. Okay, so it was really hard to show that graphically. But 33 people for Linaro are from India that are either assignees or are employees or consultants. China, it's amazing what we're seeing right now, and the whole. It's going to get even bigger, as we get more people from Huawei and other members, right? We got Akira up there in the right-hand corner. He's not here in the room, but he's in Japan. We've got people in Korea, 1 employee, 3 assignees. We've got 2 people that work for us in Pakistan. One of those is a U.S. Citizen that lives in Pakistan. Okay, and then when you look at the states, Antonio in the room? Thought he was. No? Thought he was going to be in the room, he told me at least. There he is, down there. He's covering all of South America for us, right? Okay, we've got 27 people in the States. And we've got, those represent our full-time employees and consultants and assignees. 6 people in Canada, and then Antonio in Brazil. We used to have Kiko there. Right, and Ricardo, right. Okay. So you heard all this technical stuff. I'm not going to read it to you. George can explain to you the company. You guys can explain it to yourself. But just basically, this last chart here is just showing, a little bit of what is really truly important to us is pleasing our members. That is what's most important in everything that we do. In order to do that, I feel we got to please our employees and our assignees and our consultants. So we got to have good communication systems. We got to make sure that people are communicating via both email, and they're on IRC, and we have different tools that are keeping track of where people live so we can understand this type of stuff. We try to keep track of a lot of things, but what we don't keep track of right now is people's time. Sounds a little wrong, but we trust people. That's the Linaro way of doing things. If you're a good employee in Linaro, then you're probably working pretty hard. So we're not going to necessarily, myself in New Hampshire can't worry if someone in India or China, if they're putting in their full 8 hours each day. We've got to trust that person. But we've got systems that tell us that, hey, this person is sitting there putting out a lot of code all the time. We can relax. We can be flexible. That's really the Linaro policy, if you will. And we even take that further in terms of our vacation and our holiday policies, because we want people to not burn out. I'm probably as much of a victim as other people on this. You can sit there and just keep going all day long. First thing in the morning, keep working on your laptop, then keep working in the afternoon, and then the evening, and then all of a sudden at night you got to check some more email, right? You got to take some rest. You got to relax a little bit. So I'm just curious, did we come up with any good hits on what I was asking you to do? Did anybody take me up on doing some searches? Huh? We come up with some good sites? Yes?
Apparently there's a famous racehorse in France.
Yeah, 5 years. He's been around for 5 years. Yeah. I've seen that in all the searches. That's funny. That's funny. All right, well, I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to type in your country and look at the effect that you have in your country where you live working for Linaro. Any questions, anything at all in terms of how we go about doing stuff, anything on the slides, anything you want me to back up to, anything at all? There's nothing here. No one has any questions about any of the systems or any of the communication that we do, or? Yes?
Being fairly new to Linaro, I'm curious as to the types of processes and types of things that you do for research development between the members. I'm not sure certain how everything works together.
Okay, heard most of it, but
As far as collaborative development, right? I mean, what kinds of things are in place on a regular basis that kind of encourage people to work together and where I imagine I'm going to be seeing it, but
Right.
I was kind of thinking that coming to this introduction would kind of shed some light on that.
yeah, okay.
Overview.
Yeah, I mean, we have multiple different systems. Serge, you want to help us out a little bit with that? Help me out with that one a little bit? What are some of the systems that we have? Okay, so the different systems that we have in Linaro so that we can do collaborative development. I mean, obviously I know about the card system, and I know that we've got our project managers that are doing amazing work with our developers to tie it all together. I'm wondering, like, what other specifics can we come up with? Anybody that's here that can help me with that question?
Yeah, well,
How are we working collaboratively together?
on the technical level, we are working the same way as kernel community. We are using IRC, we are using mailing lists. Plus to that, we are using wikis for documenting stuff, Jira for documenting our work breakdown structure, work items. We are still using Launchpad for same purpose, but we're switching to Jira. While bugs will be still tracking Launchpad because of lots of those communication things are email, Google Hangout, Skype, phone sometimes. But well, conferencing is much better, so we are sticking to Hangouts.
One thing that I like to talk about with that is that I really try to go back to almost the olden days, if you will, and think of the fact that we work in the whole planet Earth, if you will, right now, but we still work like in a four-walled company. We still sort of have some borders. And so, for example, IRC works great for equivalent to knocking on someone's door and saying, are you free to talk for a minute? And then you maybe would arrange a meeting, a Google Hangout, or you do a Skype call. And then, you know, it's actually, sometimes I see people use the IRC kind of wrong or some of those tools wrong, and like they just start firing questions at you. You know, and then that gets disruptive. You want to ideally, you know, work together, arrange a call, just like the old days, knock on someone's door, imagine that they're doing something if they're sitting there working. But it's pretty Wild West sometimes with just trying to reach people, so it's all over the place. Yeah.
With all of that, so I was curious if you knew how many time zones we were missing on the plane.
That's a good one. We could try to figure that out. I don't really know that specifically, but we could get more specific on that one. In fact, why don't you work on that for us? We'll send you the slides, and you figure out the time zones where everybody's at.
Well, I can give you one example. In my team, there are guys from GMT plus 5:30 to GMT minus 8.
Yeah, the span is great. I
Long
was
team.
more curious if we were missing.
Yeah.
So.
Right. There's probably a few that we're missing, but we're working on that. Yes?
I just wanted to talk about Zendesk just for 1 second.
Go ahead.
I mean, like, just because there's so many new employees like myself, I just joined a few weeks ago. And Zendesk is a system that we're using to basically keep the members as happy as possible. If they have an issue, they're going to open a ticket just like any other company, right? If you have we're almost like have a set of products, and then we want to support it so if something goes wrong. So I wanted to introduce myself to everybody because I'm new and stuff, and I'm definitely going to be sending out a lot of emails. And I have served some level of expertise, but I don't have expertise in every single domain, obviously. So you'll be hearing from me for sure. So I just wanted to say that, hey, there's a Zendesk out there to keep the members happy and open tickets. And we have a small team that's actually dealing with a lot of problems, so please be a little bit open in terms of we're going to ask a lot of dumb questions because it doesn't make, graphics doesn't make any sense to me sometimes, so please bear with us. So.
And there's a good example. So Vish works for Akira, who lives in Japan. Akira works for Joe Bates, who lives in the East Coast. You live in Texas, right? So it's really, we spread out on all different departments. I work for Robbie's in the UK. I'm in the US. And it seems to work. It's probably frustrating sometimes when you really got to talk to someone and they're still sleeping, or you can't catch them. But we make it work. We make it work. Any other questions on policies, procedures, systems? I really didn't want to get that technical. I just wanted to give you an overview of the growth of Linaro. There's amazing people here. Many of you I helped come in the company, so I know that. I know that you're smart, that you're going to go out, you're going to go investigate the rest of Connect and start doing some more amazing work and help us grow the company. Yes?
You mentioned the aggressive growth. Is there like a target in size that Linaro is aiming for? Or is there a growth target Linaro needs to get, or the members want Linaro to reach a certain size?
Rob, you want to go on that one?
There's no constraints on the growth. Give you an idea of how quickly we are intending growth. We'll go through an employee going to continue like that. And obviously, it's a function of how many members there are, because employees, assignees, and all these funded by somebody. But there is no limit on the growth, so you can pull a figure out of the air. But I suspect that 3 or 4 years down the line, we'll probably be 500 people in total. That's the kind of thing that could happen.
Yeah, it's exciting. So it'd be great a year from now to see what the chart looks like again. See if we can pass the growth. Right. Right.
Well, replacement humans. But that could be the case. I mean, it could be because of economic reasons and members don't renew. Or it could be that whatever they join Linaro to accomplish satisfies. It's about return on investment every company.
How are we looking time-wise?
But
Well, I'm done if everybody else is. Any more questions?
I would like to say one thing. Don't be afraid to ask other people if you have some questions. Because sometimes people have got stuck in something and don't have no idea who ask for help. Ask someone. Then this person will, if doesn't know answer, may know who to contact. So you will get some answer from someone. If you have problem with something, you just ask few persons, and you will get to someone who is point of contact for this kind of issues, for example.
Right.
And IRC
Great point, Mas.
works for that. IRC is good for that.
Yeah, you can see who's out there.
When it comes to IRC, there is one thing which some people not used to time zone differences on IRC forget. When you have question on IRC, join the channel, ask the question, and don't leave 20 minutes later. Just ask the question, and if for you it's the end of day of work, just leave your session running. Someone in other time zone may answer your question 4 hours later. So then next day you sit to your computer, you look at IRC session, oh, someone gave me answer. I know where to go now.
Right.
Because it's a plug on IRC when someone jumps in the middle of European night, for example, ask a question, then hour later he's mad that why no one is answering my question, and he leaves.
Right. This is a great point. Great point. Just lastly, I was really close to plagiarizing. I even got Steve Taylor's permission to use part of his presentation in mine. If you go to that link right there, which we'll put this slides up there so people can check out the maps and those things. But if you go to the top link, there's a really great introductory to Linaro thing in there that Steve Taylor wrote just in December. So you'll see some of the different numbers. I would focus more on the people side, the numbers. This explains a little bit more on some systems. Obviously, the Linaro Meet the Team page, our Facebook page, our LinkedIn page. Please like us. Please join those pages. Help spread the word. The developer wiki.